Okay, hello, this is Setup. I'm Brendan, and I'm going to be presenting a presentation of mine from when I was a junior in high school. So, hope you enjoy it. And here we go. This is The Science of Laughter, turning your ha-has into ahas by me, Brendan Gard. We are going to start out this presentation by explaining laughter scientifically and historically. Scientifically speaking, a laugh is simply an instance when an individual's face muscles contract, body convulses, and involuntary spasmodic repeated breathing occurs. Some audible repeated symptoms may also present themselves. These include, but are not limited to, laughing out loud, chuckling, giggling, howling, snickering, and snorting. People can laugh as young as 3.5 months old, up to the age where laughing may cause an individual to throw out a hip. Slate.com describes the reason people laugh by saying, laughter, in other words, is more than just a response to humor. It's a primal human tool, one of the building blocks of society. It taps into the core of what we are as social creatures, expressing from one person to another what often cannot be said in any other way, either that everything is in good fun or that something is very, very wrong. Laughter is a practice that has been a part of history for many years. It is hard to say when the first giggle was ever emitted by the hands of jokes, but jokes, one of the leading causes of laughter, have been traced. The first recorded joke dates back to 1900 BC, says an article by Mental Floss. This joke, made by Sumerians, is something which has never occurred since time immemorial. A young woman did not fart on her husband's lap. This joke is not the same as the oldest joke in the book, which refers to a book written by a Greek philosopher in the 4th or 5th century. The book contains more than 200 jokes, one of the most popular being, an intellectual came to check in on a friend who was seriously ill. When the man's wife said that he had departed, the intellectual replied, when he arrives back, will you tell him that I stopped by? Whether we are incapable of understanding the Sumerian joke due to our current time period or culture, or we are not amused by one of the oldest jokes in the book, since compared to today's standards, it may seem stale or lame, laughter has been around for many years and continues today. Jokes have many different things that make them funny. The most simple way of understanding a joke is to analyze its structure. The structure of a joke consists of the setup, the punchline, and occasionally some tags. In the joke that is shown, the setup of the joke is describing the situation, and the punchline is, what is this, some kind of joke? Jokes also have what are called rules that are to be followed. These rules include timing, precision, synthesis, and rhythm. Without following these rules, the joke setup can become confusing or the punchline can seem off. There are many kinds of jokes, as this chart of different joke categories from Comedy Central's site shows. These categories can range from yo mama jokes to food jokes. The spectacular thing about these categories is that somewhere in the vast quantity of joke types, there is one that time and time again will hit your funny bone, and maybe every joke type can have you rolling on the floor laughing. Since laughter is such an important part of culture in today's times, as well as throughout history, and since jokes are a big part of laughter, a research study was conducted at the University of Hertfordshire in 2002 to find the funniest joke of all time. In this study, they rated the jokes based on how it appealed to people of many different demographics, cultures, and countries. The funniest joke of all time is, two hunters are out in the woods when one of them collapses. He doesn't seem to be breathing and his eyes are glazed. The other guy whips out his phone and calls the emergency services. He gasps, "My friend is dead. What can I do?" The operator says, "Calm down. I can help. First, let's make sure he's dead." There is a silence. Then a gunshot is heard. Back on the phone, the guy says, "Okay, now what?" This joke may not seem the funniest to everyone listening, but luckily I have an experiment. I want everyone to stand up. I have 5 prepared jokes, many of which are a category known as anti-jokes. I chose these jokes because they are funny, but still can test the mind of a high schooler while not being too school inappropriate. I'm going to try to build upwards in how funny the joke is. The rules are you should just relax and don't resist laughing, but if you laugh, sit down. As a side note, the joke that I had as my 5th joke was too not cool, so I had to replace it with a different joke. But now that I'm not in confines of a high school, I can say my joke, which is not really my joke, but I'll get to that. Okay, so stand up, and if you laugh, sit down. The first joke is a joke found on BuzzFeed. What do you call a fish with no legs? A fish. The next 3 jokes are from antijoke.com, and the joke is, what is red and smells like blue paint? Red paint. Next is, what's brown and sticky? A stick. Now we are going into dark anti-humor for this next joke. Knock, knock. Who's there? Dave. Dave who? Dave proceeds to break into tears as his grandmother's Alzheimer's has progressed to the point where she can no longer remember him. And now here's my favorite joke of all time, which I'm going to give a shout out to Gilbert Gottfried because he's the person that I heard make this joke. A man gets a phone call. He finds out his wife has been in a bad car accident. He rushes to the hospital and the doctor said, look, I got bad news. It was a very bad accident. Your wife will be crippled from the neck down. You'll have to feed her. You'll have to bathe her. You'll have to clear her out every passage. You'll have to change her because she has no control over her bladder or bowels. And the man starts crying hysterically saying, this is horrible. And the doctor says, I'm just fucking with you. She's dead. Congratulations to those who are still standing. By the way, when I did it in high school, no one was standing at the end of it. So I'm going to wrap up on a serious note by discussing the importance of laughing. Laughter plays an important role in our everyday life. When used correctly, it has the power to build friendships, strengthen families, and even make people forget about all of their problems. As of 8 o'clock last night, worldometers.com said the world population is about 7,287,643,000. Some of these people are comedians, some are clowns, some are babies born into families that will struggle every day. Some of these babies are born to war or hunger. Some of these people are elderly who are lying in their deathbeds in hospitals. Despite a person's situation, every person has the capability to laugh. One website says that an average person will laugh because of humor about 15 times a day. These occurrences happen to attract attention, to make a connection, to lighten the mood, to impress the girl or guy, to forget about woes, or to simply pass the time. Oh, there's that. Robert A. Heinlein says perfectly, I know why we laugh. We laugh because it hurts, and it's the only thing to make it stop hurting. The end of this presentation is upcoming, and I want there to be more of a takeaway than that laughter is an occurrence of spasmodic breathing. You should take away that laughter is older than you are. It is an ancient experience that you can take part in at any second if you are willing to. And you also have the capability to make someone's day a bit brighter by leaving your social image behind and being silly to formulate a smile on another's face, leading to a laugh. And maybe, if you are not too careful, you might smile and end up laughing too. Help contribute to the phenomenon and make people smile. Thank you. So thanks for listening through that. I had fun making that way back in the day, and I have fun presenting it even now. So have a good one. Bye.